surface to surface. Yep. That is okay. This can go to the moon and be done with it. Which moon? Just the first moon right now. We have some life support mods installed, so that makes it difficult for us to be very mobile where we're going right now. We've done an elaborate Mun landing mission last weekend, and we're gonna do a much easier one. The Mun mission we did back then was an Apollo 11 tribute, basically. I'm just double checking whether we have all the signs that we can use on this thing. Yeah, we don't need these other ones, we don't need the scanning. Okay, we have all the signs that we can use. Is there anything else that I need to look at and potentially update? These things, this can already take us to the moon, so we don't really need to worry about inflatable LFO tank? Oh, it's empty, and then you can... Oh, that is cool. You can... It's empty, and you can add fuel to it. That is wonderful. I'm just double checking to see if we're not missing any equipment that we'd unlocked since then that might be relevant. I do not believe that there is. We have the aerodynamics on there. Gear. Landing gear, extend, retract. Yep, that's good. We're not going to need to land it. We have all the power that we need. I think this one is just good to go. Check the signs. Yep, this is going to be Rover Mun. And we're ready for it. Launch. The only thing that we need to make sure is to be able to hit that specific spot for the mission. Because one of the missions is just deploy a rover to the Mun. That's easy enough, but we want to hit that one specific spot that has the 3 get temperature readings here spots. So, 3, 2, 1, liftoff. Now, we've seen this a bunch of times before already. There we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. I forgot that this thing was a little bit wobbly. There we go. This thing was oddly wobbly, now I remember. That's alright though. Whoa, 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 oh yes, and it got weird at supersonic speeds. Now I remember, this happened every launch. This happened every launch. Except not as bad as this. Okay, whew. This was actually terrible. We may have lost a landing because of this. I'd completely forgotten that this one, we designed it when we had FAR installed, so the aerodynamics behaved completely differently. This one now has not gotten up enough. Oh god. See, I knew that there was something that I wanted to absolutely double check. We're still getting these weird little glitches, by the way. But this one is not getting into orbit right now. This is a failed launch. We're gonna have to adjust this one now that we know that it's... Wait a minute, did we launch the last one under FAR? I don't think we did, actually, maybe. No, this is far too inefficient. Let's just see how far we can get, though, with this terrible thing. Welcome back, Chixes. How's it going? Thought that when you had to make a rover, you'd make a seat with wheels, but what's inside the ship is 2517 for you. Oh yeah, no, a rover you would make a seat with wheels. Oh yeah. No, I like the unmanned rovers, particularly because we have the life support mods installed. That means that it's very tricky for us to get a Kerbal on there for long-term mission. This is pulling up weirdly. Because Byronic is directing launches, it keeps happening. Look, we still need to adjust, okay? We'll see how far we can get. And we're not wharfing this, Vaden. We're gonna be wharf-free this flight. Better tell the captain we're going to land as soon as we can. This one's gonna be hostile. Oh. Did you know that every 5th of August the Curiosity, the Mars rover crew, makes it move in a certain way so the wheels, motors, said to make a happy birthday song sound? Actually, it's the, sadly, that is not entirely true. For one, it's the surface sample thing. When it gets in there, the surface samples are analyzed through harmonic frequencies. So that already vibrates at a certain time, the material processing bay, to see the harmonic resonances of whatever it is that they're finding. And normally it just goes from low to high in a whoop type of sound. But in 2000 and I think it was 13, which is the first birthday of it being there, that is in fact the only time it, you can say, hummed happy birthday to itself. So sadly, it's a cool story. And I know it gets shared, it got shared recently, of course, because it was another anniversary. But sadly, it's not a true story. I would have liked it to be true, though. Yeah, I know, it's a bit of a bummer, isn't it? Okay. We are still managing to put this into orbit. Yeah, I think I like... there's this sadness idea to it, to the other one, like every birthday on its own, it just hums happy birthday to itself, which is kind of sad and nice and emotive. But then on the other hand, thinking that it just did this the once and now it's just plodding around, that's kind of even sadder, to be honest. There we go. So, you know, Fub, you may criticize my choices in bringing this thing into orbit, but let's face it, I'm bringing it into orbit, okay? Does Byronic destroy any cool story with snobbish facts? Look, I'm interested. It's a cool story, even with the, even knowing that, in fact, it just did it once. Need to get this apoapsis up above 70k, thank you. Excellent. This leaves us with, wow, this leaves us with the darkness coming. Give me a second. Emergency chroma key lamp to the rescue. Yeah, look, I actually like the real story a little bit more. Because it sings the birthday every year. That's cool, but the idea that it just the once. They programmed it and they were like, yeah, just this once. It's alright. There we go. That to me is very cool as well. There we go. That is a good encounter. Focus our view. Now, we need to land about here. So let's see what we can do... We'd probably be better off doing this close. And let's see if there's any adjustment we can do like this. Either way, I want to see how much delta V we change here, because most of these changes... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Most changes will have the best effects the earlier you do them. So this brings us closer, which is going to be good. I'll like that to adjust. But I want to see, are we in any way actually changing our angle like this? We are. So it looks like we need 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So, very carefully adjusting here, because as I said, look at that. The more we do earlier, the better we're gonna do this. Now this is very close to getting us to where we need to be. There we go. This will get us into an orbit that's pretty good, but we're gonna need it a little bit off the ground for safety. 18,000. This is gonna be fine. Now by this time, of course, this will be rotating several times, but at the very least this will put us close to a whole swath of the rotation, I think. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your stewardess speaking. We regret any... Actually, I should do this more Jex's voice. Also, oh my god. Hold up. There we go. That doesn't solve the problems. That made them worse. You know what? Enjoy the creepy radiation in the background. Now, let's see if I can adjust this. This makes it worse. That makes it sort of better. There we go. Now, we need to... dump this engine so that we have full control. There. Now, let's get some time for Jex's comment.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your stewardess speaking.
Oh, it's the stewardess, never mind. We regret any inconvenience the sudden cabin movement might have caused. This is due to periodic air pockets we've encountered, and there's no reason to become alarmed. We hope you rent the rest of your... We hope you enjoy the rest of your flight. And by the way, is there anybody on board who knows how to fly the plane? Poor Bill. What am I doing? I am getting us into an orbit specifically here right away. Because the more you combine your maneuvers in an early stage, the less it actually takes. Otherwise, normally I would have gone here, But then I would have spent a whole bunch more delta V to adjust this orbit into a polar orbit. So I'm just gonna make sure we burn directly into an orbit that'll allow us to land here easily. Mundane, haha. There we go. Also, let's make sure to extend these solar panels so that we don't get any trouble down the line. Previous one was also from airplane, hoping Byronic picked up and say hospital. What is it? I don't know that one. Oh wait, I just don't see your previous comment anymore. But yeah, I remember that one now. A hospital? What is it? It's a large building where people take care of sick people, but that's a whole nother question. And of course, what is it again? The white zone is for loading and unloading only. No, the white zone is for loading only. Listen, Marjorie, don't bring our personal problems into into the job. We both agreed we wouldn't. Okay, let's focus on the Mun. Oh, that's Minmus. 3, 2, 1, burn. Now our focus is on the Mun as we watch that baby burn towards there. Are you the only one who can just see a green dot and rarely some oxidizer in the black space? Not quite sure what you're talking about. I'm getting a little bit of a green screen issue here, if that's what you mean. Oh, let's make sure we focus. That's, yeah, my green screen's a little messed up today. Okay. Carefully, getting our orbit adjusted as much to a nice polar orbit as we can, or as we've set up. We could probably go for more, but you know what? This for now is fine. Ideally, I want to adjust this a little bit carefully, so we can do that over there. And see about adjusting it radially, I mean. There we go, 2300. That puts us in a nice spot to be able to pick our landing there easily, I think. Although, you know what, we can easily do that from that spot. As long as we circularize here, we will be fine. Uh, 300, that's a little bit too much. I want to circularize, see if we can circularize with as little as possible here. Which will be 200. Thank you for the follow, Ronnie. Which will be this. Let's see. This is gonna be tricky. I did a real weird thing. Since we lost more delta V than we would have normally with our lift, our ascent, we're gonna get a little bit more trouble here. Oh, there we go, Fub. You meant when you had the ship cam, you could just see a green dot and rarely oxidize it. Hey, that's weird. Hey there, Total GTV. We are just trying to save a weird. Don't know what you mean. Well, maybe I had it turned like this into the darkness. We're trying to save a wreck of a mission right now. We had a really bad takeoff. It's just warp there. We had a really bad takeoff, and that cost us way too much Delta V. But this is a game where we don't do any reverts. We have that turned off, so I need to run with what I have. That is less than ideal right now. Thank you. Focus retrograde, please. We're going to be using part of the fuel that we had for landing just to circularize, although we can actually use a bunch of this RCS that we already and always had to spare to do part of this, I think. Really? That's from a song in Joe's garage? Talk about curious references. I only knew it as Jexus said as well, a airplane thing. Okay, we're gonna get some. I'm gonna try to minimize the weird lights we have there, but the green screen's just messing up. We'll have to deal with it. Okay, there we go. We have established an orbit with 15 meters per second to spare. Let's see if we can just decrease this orbit by using monopropellant. Because if you'll recall, the monopropellant is only on this stage. And since we're dumping this stage soon, we might as well use all the monopropellant we can to our advantage. The goal is going to be to land there, which might have been easier had we done that straight away, I'm guessing, but I want to see where we can get. Oh, thank you for that link there, Jexus. It's always good to get more quality discussion into the Discord. By the way, Fub, I like that link that you put to the cybernetic enhancement article. Did we know that Leslie Nielsen had a golf instruction video called Bad Golf Made Easier? Tagline was, I don't play golf to feel bad, I play bad golf to feel good. I guess, in a way, Vanen. I mean, we're playing this badly in a way that's really good. And look at that, snob points to Fub. Joe Garage is from the 79, Airplane from the 80s, so that is likely just a direct reference. So we are using a lot of the RCS that we have that we'd normally throw away to get this maneuver. But this is, I think, enough for now. Let's get a rotation in. I think we're in a lot of luck. We are going to need to adjust this maneuver over here to be on top of our sight. So let's adjust. Oi, wrong side, wrong side. Darn it, stop doing that. And burn our RCS. There we go. I think I traditionally underestimated what RCS can do. I never really used it that much. But I've actually been watching videos where people get space planes into orbit using liquid fuel, and after that, just use RCS. RCS for the main maneuvers, RCS to deorbit, and it suddenly made me realize just now, it clicked, where, yep, my fuel was gone, but I still had RCS. There we go. Which means that in a moment, we can add a maneuver, and let's see how much delta V that loses us. That's gonna be the major challenge. 400? 592, and we have 665. That leaves us very little to actually get to safely to our landing zone. Oh, stop. This is why SAS is nice, but it wastes so much RCS. Ideally, I'd like to see how much of this we can already do with RCS to save as much fuel as we can. Because remember, we're throwing this away. So the more we can get out of RCS, the more we'll have left in our last stage. Let's also fire our rocket a little bit. That was what we had left. Gonna be reaching it soon. 2, 1. Also, I'm suddenly realizing that that was based on the other engines that we had, not these engines. So we may be overshooting after all. We, I believe, are overshooting. We are overshooting already. Oh god, we are... Why are we so out of control? We are massively overshooting. Darn it. Okay, in that case, we need to just get in for a landing. Let's deploy the gear. This is going to be the most breakneck, dangerous landing that I have ever done. Okay. So this says we need about 5 seconds of suicide burn to get us safe. We have 2.4 seconds left. We are not getting this thing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Darn it. I was depending on that one, but that wasn't showing me the correct number. Thank you for that follow. Darn it. Wish that RCS for a furniture would make vacuum cleaning so much easier, wouldn't it just? There's a suicide burn distance in Kerbal Engineer. Oh, okay, because I was just using that one, which is Kerbal Engineer, I believe. I didn't know that it had a separate one you can put on there. But even then, we needed 4 seconds of burn, and we had 2 seconds. So even then, I think that one was a goner to begin with. That crash deserved a follow. Oh, poor rover. Fortunately, it was a rover and not a Kerbal that we lost just there. Wait, what? Oh, the bioscam of Minmus is now done. Excellent. See where we are for time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to call it here, though.